Hi guys, Lorenz. We are back with the Bettor Podcast. On with me today, I have a special guest, Mthokozisi Dube, my close friend and colleague. We've been covering this football thing for a minute. He's obviously no stranger to the show. And you know, when me and him are together, we speak about one thing, PSL, transfers, but there are other couple of hot topics that I also want to speak with him today. Mtho, thank you for joining me.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, bro. Honestly, I don't need to give an introduction. Everybody knows who you are, what you do. But my first burning topic that I've been meaning to discuss is that there are no journalists in South Africa.
That's a funny one.
So what do you think when you like go on social media? Because we know you see it every time. What do you
Of course,
think?
man. Look, I see it all the time, and because I spend a lot of time with with journalists from around the continent, so I'm able to say, I'm able to give a better judgment because I know the work that.
What do you mean continent? We global. We were at the World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, World Cup. I mean, we're with guys from the Athletic.
Yeah.
I know the standard of South African journalists. I
Yeah.
mean, and I've got a lot of respect for South African journalists. There's people that do incredible work in this space. You know, when it comes to transfers, you know, obviously in the context of a South Africa, how clubs operate, I think guys are doing really well. I mean, saw the coverage that came from the World Cup, you know, from the different guys that were there. Yeah. Man, incredible.
Yeah.
I disagree with that there's no journalist. No.
Yeah, it's a funny thing because it's like this kind of topic comes off when Pirates announce somebody and nobody had a sniff of it, or we had a sniff of it, but you were just too late to get into it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then all of a sudden there's no journalists, and that's such a broad spectrum to say. You know, there are investigative journalists, there are people who cover different things out of sport. You know what I mean?
True.
And like I do feel that the people who do like great investigative work don't get their flowers. Their stuff don't get read.
True.
And I don't know if you can relate to this. When did you start in journalism?
Look, I started,
give it like what year?
Look, okay, I started as a crime reporter.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know, I think it's been 11 years now.
But it prepared you in terms of like just the normal journalism jargon and stuff like that, and going into the football space. So for me, it's like I will remember, for example, you know, studying 4 years, you know, to become a journalist, becoming a junior journalist or intern, and not getting paid, then getting a stipend and whatever, and you know, taking the train from my hood to town, working from, you know, arriving in the office 6 a.m., leaving at 7 p.m., and getting all the way, you know, to a respectable level, and then somebody tells you that you. But the thing is, what we are trying to get at is we have done everything in a sense of figuring out what people want. The audience dictates the content that we create. Am I right?
Kinda.
Many times.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm saying this is because I remember when I was at Kickoff, I used to do these investigative things. I used to do like finding, you know, stories and things that's obscure and things that nobody speaks about, and telling life stories, and people don't really appreciate and enjoy it as much as Chiefs or Pirates sign this player. And that's now my role in my company. That's what I was hired to do. And I remember when you came into the scene, you did a lot of like storytelling, you know, and it evolved because of what the audience dictates, you know what I mean?
True.
And that's also what I'm trying to explain is like for you as an editor now, just to people who are watching now, explain to them why we do what we do and why we are not creating those in-depth storytelling that we are so fond of doing.
Yeah. Look, truth of the matter is that it's also, there's also numbers, you know.
It's money.
To think about.
It's money.
Numbers are money. Yeah.
We're running businesses.
And so the storytelling that you're speaking about. I mean, I'm writing a story now on Peter Shaluli's journey. just away from the football, the goals, but just who is he?
Yeah.
I mean, I went to Tanzania, spent a week in Tanzania, spent days with him, spoke to him, did interviews, and it's taken me, I'd say, to write the story, transcribe, I think it was like maybe 5,000 words. Now I need to, so that takes you about at least 3 days to put together that story, right? It's not a story that's going to give you 500,000 page views, But if I say, Shalulile speaks about his exit from Sundowns, like that's it's 300 words, takes me 30 minutes to put it together, this is what people love, But that Shalulile, that long read...
it's a niche audience also.
Yeah, exactly. But, yeah, man, I mean, I did a similar story on how Sereno came to South Africa. That story only had a good page views when he moved to Kaizer Chiefs. That particular week, that story was like, and I'd written that story like maybe 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah, so that's the space that we're in.
The algorithm obviously favors certain clubs due to the popularity, how many times they're being Googled and things like that. But also, it's not just that as well. There are many other factors as to why we don't write, let's say, super controversial things or damning things about a player. There's a player in particular, I know, I'm not going to mention his name, who has never been slated in the media, but he's one of the worst, drunks in the country. And I think you know who I'm talking about, right? And simply the ones who do get slated for being unprofessional, it's because it's popular. It's not saying we as journalists do it, but the audience does it themselves, They ridicule these players because it gets numbers on X or Facebook and whatever. But also it's like, let's use the Saleng thing, for example. Many people kind of knew what was going, but we don't write about it because you don't get it from the primary source, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you don't want to speculate on things. You rather don't write anything, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Look, I mean, this is someone's career. This is someone's livelihood, You've got to be 120% sure.
You need to get it from the source.
You need to get 120% sure. I mean, if you're not getting it from himself, if you're not getting it from his agent,
or family member,
or someone at Sundown speaking on record, then becomes a bit difficult.
But it's also could be one-sided because they can say what they are seeing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because the time at Pirates, there was somebody there that was telling me, I don't know what's going on with him. Sometimes he'll come to train, sometimes he just doesn't, or he'll leave early. And there's no explanation as to why. So if you put it out, it's one-sided because then it's like, oh, he's ill-disciplined. But we don't know the reason of why this is happening. We don't know if he was fighting or whatever. You know what I mean? And then there's also relationships. Like
absolutely,
a club will tell you, oh, this is very delicate. Please don't share it. Even if it's a transfer. An agent will also say, I phoned you the other day about it. There was a story that we were sitting on for like 2 weeks, and then it leaks out by a Twitter user, you know what I mean? Because somehow it got there. But it doesn't mean that we don't know these things. It's just we're managing content and relationships.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's just weird that someone would think, good example, someone would think that I didn't know that Mangoba Mngiti was going to Young Africans. It's impossible, man. You know, but sometimes, because sometimes I think...
Sometimes when you're too close to the situation, you leave it.
Yeah, for example, if the president of Young Africans calls me and says, what do you think about this guy as a coach? You know, because, I mean, we build relations that far.
You've witnessed him first time in the league.
I'm like, look, this is the kind of coach that he is. He's coaching. This is how he deals with the media. This is how... And then he says, I'm actually going to hire this guy. Am I going to go and write the story? No.
Yeah.
You know, until, you know, it's ripe and it's... Yeah. So sometimes you find the club then announces before I actually write. Yeah. Then someone is like, no, they didn't. I mean, how...
Yeah.
You know?
There's a lot of those cases where you wish you weren't so close to the source because
so many times.
Yeah, because I mean, there's agents that I don't get along with.
Yeah.
I break more of their stories than the agents I do get along with because I will get it from a primary source, but I wouldn't have to go to that guy who says, I don't write that.
Yeah, please, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's an agent who called me last week. A deal was done, just...
Is he giving you the story?
He's giving me the
but
story.
But he didn't write it.
He's giving me the story. No, he's giving me the story. Says you can write, the deal is done. So he just needs to do his medical. And then I write the story comes out in the afternoon. That evening, he calls me very late, man, around 10. So I'm asleep. I only see the call in the morning. Then I call him back. He's like, Ish, the club has actually said they're no longer going ahead with the deal because I gave the story to you,
That's a lie.
Well, yeah, that's a lie, man. But the truth of the matter, it later turned out that the club had found another player that they wanted to bring in, and they had to give an excuse to the agent, But I'm just trying to show you that sometimes it becomes a bit, someone would tell you and say, Ish.
And they believe that.
Yeah, Mfethu, if I give you the story, if you write the story, this thing's going to complicate the whole transfer.
That's why most of them are like, let's wait till the medical and wait until we sign, because they are fearful. They are fearful, these things. We can't do like in the European market where it's like, oh, there's contact, because like, I mean, sometimes you can just because it's out in the media that X club wants that player, it doesn't mean you're going to stop it because it means that other clubs are now going to come circling around. But it is annoying for the club because it could drive the prices and wages up. Yeah,
Justice Figueiredo. I mean, that deal was done. I even saw a video of the announcement. And the guy had a flight ticket to Tanzania on the Sunday. And then, boom. It just changes. Are you going to say no?
I can't even remember who told me about that. It was just like that. Mtembu as well. Mtembu's in talks, Justice. They're going to Young and whatever. And when somebody tells you to post something, it's usually like, hey, this is solid information, you know what I mean? But anyway, you spent some time in Tanzania after the World Cup. I think we beyond the World Cup thing, but more Tanzania now because it relates a lot to us. Spent time with Barker and Coach Mangoba. For those who don't know much about Tanzanian football and what type of environment, what competitive environment, would you say wholeheartedly that they took a step up in their careers?
The two coaches?
Yes.
100%. And I think because of the potential that those two clubs have on the continent,
Yeah, commercially as well. I think they're big brands.
Absolutely. So I think they're getting into a space where they could do something great in the Champions League. I think you look at how they've invested in their squads, Simba and Yanga. Obviously, you can see that they want to compete on the continent. I mean, Yanga, we saw them playing in a quarterfinal against Sundowns, 3 years ago. That was his key,
I was sitting right there.
Let me attempt. And I think it's a very good space. On the domestic scene, you look at the numbers that those clubs command. Crazy numbers.
You're talking about stadium attendance?
Yeah, stadium attendance, but also fan base.
Okay.
And what they can do with those numbers.
Social media as well.
You can actually see. Young Africans, when they were making an announcement, they actually partnered with, not partnered per se, but there's a company that basically sort of collaborated with them for, I think that's not a space that we're seeing here in South Africa. You look at how they unveiled Peter Shalulile. We saw Skudu the other year. I was just looking at the number of sponsors on Yanga Day and Simba Day, like crazy, bro. I mean, combined maybe over 15 companies, coming together and actually putting in money for that. So it's a very interesting space.
And it's culture now, and it's something that maybe Chiefs is looking to replicate. maybe from what they've experienced. They were at some
They were younger day,
and then
the day squad was unveiled,
and they're doing something
yeah,
similar with the
following
Toyota
year,
Cup.
I think they started Toyota Cup.
Yeah, I mean, but it's a long-term thing where it gets to that sort of fandom, and you know what I mean.
Yeah. So I would say they definitely took a step up. I mean, Mangoba left Golden Arrows. He says that his biggest motivation was he wanted to be playing Champions League. You know, Yanga offers him that. He's got the squad to actually do that. I mean, they've scored 11 goals in 3 games. You know, they've got that quality. You know, Steve Barker as well left. Stellenbosch went to a club like Simba. So you can. I definitely think it's a step up in their careers, and maybe one day the big clubs in South Africa will actually notice that they've got top coaches that are respected on the continent. We consider that the 3 big teams are actually coached by foreign coaches in South Africa.
I didn't actually think about it. Look, Coach Fadlu is also part of that. He was at Raja as well, a massive club. And I know like how they speak about him in North Africa, saying he's part of that new wave of elite African coaches where we had young coaches, where we had a stage where we had these foreign guys, because let's be honest, they're still foreign in a different country, right? We had these foreign guys like Carteron, there's Garrido, all these guys who were in the North Africa, and now
Van de Boek.
These guys are now the new rotation. So it wouldn't be surprising to see Fadlu, arrive again either in Tanzania or Al Hilal. Or,
I mean,
these are the big clubs in Africa who has genuine budgets and intentions to do well. But do you think they're confident that, okay, I remember Mangoba and the president said online that semi-final is a success because they want to get further. So semi-final. Do you think that they are confident, Coach Steve and Coach Mangoba, that they can break that barriers for the Tanzanian club?
Yeah, quite interesting, I think, because I really had to follow up on that with the younger president, just to gauge what the expectation is, And he said, look, we know it's a process. Even this morning I was speaking to the vice president of Young, and he actually says he feels it's going to be a process. They want to take that, next step, but eventually they need to get there to a semi-final, So with the way that they've invested in their squad, I think they are going to take, the next steps. Maybe semi-final is a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, look, I mean, it takes a little bit of
especially
luck.
This season.
Look, you can get a bit of luck. I mean, look at Sundowns last season. They had a poor, let's say indifferent group stage. And then they got a favorable draw, There wasn't the traditional giants that they usually struggle against. But on that note, do you think, I'm moving on now, do you think that Champions League victory gives enough in the bank for Coach Miguel to be safe this season? Because there's despite only losing this one game, there's a lot of doubters and naysayers about him, even though he delivered that second stop.
Yeah. Look, I think that second star is very important. Obviously, bought him a bit of time.
Yeah.
But the more the team doesn't win games, you start having those conversations to say, but we struggle in domestic cups. So he needs to get the team, winning, consistent. Win the league again, because I think Champions League is not the easiest to say. There's no guarantee that he would win it back to back,
Win a league and one cup.
Win a league and one cup, and I think that would, buy him even more time. Listen, I've restored the league. I've won you the second star. We've got a cup in the bag. Yeah. But if that doesn't happen, it's a big problem.
I do think that he'll be under a lot of pressure even if he doesn't win the MTN 8, which many people's like, pre-season cup, whatever. But it's just that thing of why are we not winning this trophy? You know what I mean?
True.
And yes, there are coaches before that haven't done it, but there will be a little bit more pressure if he doesn't win it.
True.
But on that note, I mean, Pirates is obviously the main challenges for these titles. I mean, we wouldn't be surprised if Sundowns overturned the Golden Arrows thing, even though Golden Arrows were really They haven't conceded a goal this season. They beat Chiefs at home.
Yeah.
They beat Sundowns away. You know what I mean?
Away from home, yeah.
But you know, Sundowns are capable of overturning that. But Pirates obviously are favourites to go towards the final as well, whether they meet Sundowns or Arrows. That's up to them. But my point about them is they've weakened a lot. Pirates have weakened a lot.
Look, I'm actually sitting and I'm looking at their transfer business now, right?
A couple of weeks ago, you would say, top.
I still had I was a bit concerned because...
what was the main concern?
The main concern is when you're a Pirates and you've won a league, you obviously are going to Champions League.
Sure.
Are you bringing in players that will help you compete in the Champions League? Because you don't want to fail again in the Champions League.
That was always my concern with Sundowns. I'm saying, where's that guy that takes you to the next level? So, but then they started doing that with Allende.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm looking at the signings and I'm thinking, okay, a lot of the signings are like not players that will come in now and sort of elevate the team. You know?
Like an Apollos.
Like an Apollos did, yeah. But there are signings that you look at and you think, these guys are going to be balling in a season or two, you know. That's not what they need.
Yeah.
Even worse now that Relay was very, very important, you know, in how they played. His contributions, goal contributions, I think, 20 goal contributions, 12 goals, 8 assists, I think.
But it was an understandable transfer as well. The money they received.
Yeah.
And we knew he kind of had reached his ceiling.
True.
In the PSL.
True. Tito as well, of course, I was just looking at, he played 34 games in all competitions.
Last season.
10 goals, 4 assists, you know, and only 21 of those games were stats. So those are good stats. You know?
That's so a team that almost played 50 games.
Yeah. When you now combine those two players and their goal contributions, then you realize that Pirates have lost very, very important players. And I look at the replacements.
You're not mentioning Mthokozisi.
Yeah, Mthokozisi, okay. Because maybe they played the second half of the season without him, but still you could see that he left a huge void. And when I look at the players that they've brought in, do they replace those two? Absolutely not. This is where then I then think, now the more I look at it, I'm thinking, Sianda Ndlovu
would have been
a perfect replacement for one of those, you know.
Squishy.
Squishy, look, man, he definitely would have. And there he would have been playing a lot more games than he's, you know, playing or likely to even play at Sundown, you know, because of the competition. Okay, they've signed Kampani Lungu. He's going to give you assists, but can he give you the same number of goals? They've brought in Baby Haaland, you know. I'm looking at the league he comes from, you know. Is it competitive enough for us to gauge and say, this guy is going to come? Because the PSL
the Norwegian second division.
Yeah, the Norwegian, that's not a strong league, you know. I think sometimes people underestimate the PSL. Is it going to come in and give them, you know, those goals that they need?
I think, sorry to interject, but I think if he gives the same contribution that a Flavio Silva did, 9 goals, it's job done.
Look, that would go some way, because then you look at the fact that the centre forwards last season, you know,
they shared the amount of game time, but didn't bring that amount of goals.
Bring. So if he comes in and he brings in that amount of goals,
then it's job done.
Job done. But the other signings, you know, Tlalengwato,
Khotsitsile,
you know,
Mulai.
Yeah, Mulai. So I don't think those are players that will come in now and have that impact.
I get what you're saying, but there must be also a certain element of trust in what they are trying to do. Because I think the one player, I was speaking to a friend of mine driving to the stadium the other day. They were like, if Tito leaves, who's going to play? And we're like, okay, maybe Apollos plays as a 10. Moremi is there. Lungu has had a good start. But then we were like, what about this new kid that was in the DDC, this Mpo Padime guy, you know? Who knows what he could potentially bring? We saw what happened with Ribeiro. We know Relay Mofokeng was this new guy that was coming through. And he eased him into the second half of the season, played him here and there, rather he actually made his debut in the final game of that season.
True.
And then he came into. So we might, have a new breakout star, but they need that now.
Yeah.
It's like it's not a certainty that they will have that. You know what I mean?
True. And it's urgent now.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've lost Tito and you've lost Rele, it's really urgent that you get someone in that can sort of fill that gap and give you those goals. Because unless you've got centre forwards that actually rise and carry the team and score, lots of goals, I don't think they have that, luxury at this point. Baby Haaland still needs to adapt to the league.
Yeah, for sure. Look, Mahopa is out injured, so there'll be a run of goals. Mbutuma has come under a lot of scrutiny. We need Pirates to do well, and Sundowns and Chiefs and all the rest of the PSL team. The players that's in and around the national team, we want these players to do well.
True.
But on that, Sundowns didn't do a lot of business. They got Van Wyk, Squishy, Tsiki signed permanently, and who else? That was it, I think. I literally think that was the only players they've signed.
Yeah.
I might be missing some.
Cash.
Cassius Mailula.
Cash, not deposit.
Yeah, and funny enough, it's all kind of attacking reinforcements.
True.
What do you think of their overall squad now? Do you think it's still good enough to compete now? Because Pirates and Sundowns have both made it very clear we are competing League and Champions League. That's what they want this season.
I think for Sundowns it makes a lot of sense because in the past seasons you felt they had this big squad, but now when you look at their options, for example, at centre forward now with Shaluli Legon, they've got Mutiba, they've got Cash, they've got Brian Leon, they've got Ikram. You get the sense that they're all going to get a chance to play. It's not a big number, which. And then when you look at the signing of Squishy, you are thinking, long term, they're looking at someone that comes in and replaces Tembazwane. Comes in, he's got time to sort of settle in. There's no too much pressure on him. I mean, he's an incredible footballer. He's going to grow into it. He's got that time to grow into it. So that signing makes a lot of sense.
Van
Wyk, you've seen what he can do, on the wing. Gives him something a bit, different.
Gives Tash also a kick up the butt, like you need to deliver more goals because he does everything. Absolutely. But it's the goals and assists that they want now.
Yeah. And then Kesh has come in and he's actually delivering. Man. Yeah. He's scoring those goals. He's showing that look, I've still got it. I may have had the toughest time away from South Africa, but can give this team goals, and I think he's lifted his hand and he's going to play a lot of games. When you go back, maybe midfield, I'd be concerned there where I think the gap that Jaden Adams leaves.
Harisinho is out now, so it's a player that's out.
Yeah, I think that gap that Jaden Adams leaves, because Jaden, grew very influential, especially in the Champions League. I mean, I remember that game in the final,
He was a groot man.
He was a groot man, man. So I felt they needed to find a replacement.
He was so good that they were considering letting Allende go this window.
You wouldn't have worried about Allende leaving because
now
he sort of rose and so I still feel they still need to reinforce they've got Batusi Obas.
But we watched against Arrow. I don't know if you watched the game, but I was there at the stadium.
Yeah.
Without Debza there is a noticeable lack of intensity.
Intensity and
control.
And control. Yes, control is the word I'm looking for. So I actually thought that's a position they really need to look into. I think they have enough options at centre back. Of course, they need to start thinking of refreshing the defense. I mean, looking at, you've got Mvala, you've got Grant, you've got Keanu,
Modao,
you've got at centre back, you've got Malibongwe, Ndamane. Okay, so maybe
left centre back long term.
Left centre back.
And this Mudau injury is the real spanner in the works. 6 months out.
Yeah.
He's gonna miss
maybe that's where
the qualifiers now for Bafana as well.
Yeah. Maybe that's where they need to push and get
Mthokozisi. Yeah, but I mean, doesn't the Pirates releasing Dino kind of signal to you that could be the destination? Because we know both clubs have made offers in this window and in previous windows for this player.
Yeah.
He's a player that can improve any PSL squad. Another squishy drama, maybe. That was a funny one, though.
Look, I think he improves both. If he goes to a Sunrise
right now,
he definitely becomes like an upgrade. I think at right back is a better player than Sibilibili. At right back, I think he's a better player than Zuko. And yeah, man. but then again, you then obviously look at
they're different profiles. So I think Zuko brings a lot defensively. He's got a lot of energy. But I think for teams like Sundowns and Pirates, you want that guy who can give something in the final third.
Yeah, which is where I think Mathuludi would have an upper edge.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to be defending all the time. This is why Sibilibili can
play at Pirates
as a right back, because offensively, But I think Mathuludi is a bit of a balance, man. He's a bit of both. He's got an engine as well, set pieces,
Yeah.
So it will be interesting to see if he, eventually leaves Polokwane City, who also seemingly want to keep him.
Yeah, I honestly, guys, if you're thinking one of us is going to break this, I think it's one of those that's just you're going to wake up one morning and you're going to see, welcome Mathuludi wherever. I can't tell you where is he going. But yeah, so
we'll try.
With Chiefs, obviously now they came third last season.
Third, yeah.
Amazulu was, fighting there as well. I like the look of their squad as well and what they're doing as well. Yeah. But Da Cruz, obviously, we had a taste of him for 5 weeks and he left. He's back now. What did you make of his first few games? And do you think Chiefs can now go to the next level with him? Or do you think that the business they've done has not been enough?
Look, I actually I love the kind of coach he is.
Yeah.
And I think he kind of aligns well with how Chiefs have been doing their business. You looked at their signings last season. Look, Batman, you knew he was not gonna, immediately, play. He's a young player, so much potential. Velebai, he's brave to play those boys. He's not afraid. He's actually come in and says, "Mfundo, I believe in you. Go in there and play." And I think Chiefs have a lot of young players in their squad that could easily sort of grow, further develop. But also, if you look at the fact that last season, actually in the last... Pili as well, yes.
He's been very... I've liked what he looked like.
Yeah. You look at the last couple of seasons, how these young players have carried Chiefs. I mean, Du has been very, very important. And I think it tells you that if a coach comes in and shows faith in the young players, they could actually, do something.
But you need to.
Of course, you need that experience as well, and I think they've got it, in a way, Levo can see what Levo has done, and what Chiefs have done for him, because now he looks like a player that could easily get back into Bafana, Mtasingwa Mtase, very interesting player, because I know young Africans at some point,
Simba as well.
And Simba, And then, but of course, with Aiden living at the back, I think that's a bit of a problem. Look at the Dotley. Dotley hasn't started a game as yet, and obviously a huge concern. Their centre back options:
Miguel, Zita,
Thabo Mloisane. I don't think that's enough. Yeah, unless maybe they're able to play Kabelo Ngwesa. Once he recovers from the injury, then Cross
can be a
left centre back.
Yeah, and they have experimented with the back three, as you see. against Sundowns. But I do think the two key players there in the squad for me would be totally coming back and being fully fit, having a good season, and Iguodaro having a good season and scoring the goals, because we know he's capable. We know how Sundowns were crying behind the scenes to lose a player of his caliber, but he hasn't been able to have a run of games to show what he's capable of. And I think if you have him, Dube, Flavio fit, Bartman obviously Bartman is a 9, but I think his best position would be behind. You know, he's getting a lot of game time, so that's obviously helping him improve. But there's a lot of games. There's Confederation Cup coming up as well. A lot of cup games as well. There's an exciting blend of players, but they need to fire in order to get in that third spot. But just guys like Sekhukhune, Amazulu, Golden Arrows, Durban City, Amazulu. I mean, Arrows, we touched on Pizzo Tladla not conceding. Which one of these guys have impressed you this early season?
Look, I'd say Amazulu, man. I think also looking at the kind of business that they did. You know,
team is looking solid.
It's looking solid, man. And you also still feel there's players who haven't really shown what they can do. But the player that really excites me about Amazulu is Ngwenya, Tando. It was quite interesting to hear what Coach Arthur said about him.
He said he is a lazy thinker.
Yeah.
That's not a lazy player, a lazy thinker. What's your understanding of that?
Look, it's and I think you're right to sort of separate that, not lazy as in he doesn't work hard, you know, but where he has to use his football brain.
I think an easy way to say it is he needs to develop tactically. The Radebe as well on the right back is another player. So much pace, so much everything, but tactically not there yet.
True, yeah. But I think the ceiling is very, very high, especially for, this Tando boy. I think if he stays fit, I think he's going to score a lot of goals.
For a team that finished fourth, if you get a 15 to 20 goal striker, where do you think you end up?
Look,
it could end up top 2.
You easily, top 2 is a bit tricky.
No, but you never. Amazulu has finished top 2 before.
Yeah, look, but the last 2 seasons, 2-3 seasons, it has looked a bit different. So look, they need those goals. You look at Hape Muralo coming into that midfield. I think he really will improve them. Daga as well on the left. Very interesting. Shuma. I think you broke the Shuma story. Moses, the Kenyan international.
Scored 25 goals for Power Dynamos last season.
And I think it's interesting because he doesn't look like he's got so much pressure to step in now, and he's got that time to sort of get familiar with the Betway Premiership, and so it's gonna be an interesting season for Usu too.
Before we're gonna go to our hot takes, but the MTN 8 now. Put your head on the block. Who do you think advances to the final?
Pirates, Sundowns. It's going to be a Pirates Sundowns final.
So you think
Sundowns are going to overtake?
You think the mighty Golden Arrows will be conceding their first goal at the Kings Wellatini?
Yeah, they're going to concede their first goal.
We'll see that. But now, look, I might just go to a last section, but I'm going to move on to our hot takes over here. I'm going to go into another section with you last. But before we get there, we're going to go to our hot takes.
Okay.
We've done this with you before with 10bet.co.za. So basically, I'm going to pick a card here. So this is the hot takes. I'm going to pick a couple of cards, and then we're going to write our answer to the question.
Okay.
And then we're going to show it together. And
Okay.
So the first one we have is top 3 of the league this season.
Top 3.
Yeah, you're giving me a top 3.
In what order? Just top three.
Top three. No. Who's winning? Who's winning? Okay. Yo, my handwriting is so... Guys, I'm so used to typing. I
almost wrote.
I don't write anymore, so like... Hey, excuse. It looks like hieroglyphics now. Are you ready?
Ready.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Sundowns, Pirates, Chiefs. I'm going for Amazulu at third.
That's interesting.
Okay. Give me a reason why you are hitting them as your top 3.
Look, I think because of the way Fernando is showing faith in the young players, I think as the season progresses, they will
get better.
Yeah, get better. And I think they've got a bit more depth. You know, yeah. I think they will.
I mean, the top 2 is like explanatory for us because we think these are the team with the best squads.
True.
Pirates is weakened a little bit. I think Amazulu because there's continuity.
Yeah.
And that fact that they might have more goals in them this season. Yeah. So I'm going for them that reason. Okay. Our second one, bro, I'm struggling to even take the squad. Top transfers. So the best transfer of the window so far.
The best transfer of the window.
Best transfer.
Okay.
Okay, wait.
Just one, eh?
Yeah, I'm going to have to think about this one. Yo.
No,
wait.
I didn't have to think about this one.
You're giving me pressure, bruh.
I just knew.
Wait.
There's no better one, eh?
Hey, wait. Give me a second. Yo. Bruh. Okay.
I didn't have to think about this one. I just knew.
Okay, I'm thinking this because this is the one play that I've been most impressed by so far.
That's interesting.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Ta-da!
Yeah, Sianda and Lovu from Golden Arrows to Mamelodi Sundowns. I think this guy has incredible potential and high ceiling.
Yeah.
It's just also exciting to watch. What do you think? Like, why did you give?
Look, I actually think he's one of those transfers that I think spot on. You know, good scouting from Sundowns. You can see what they're trying to do. I think he becomes like a long-term replacement of Tembazwan, who's very important for the team.
For sure.
You know?
Do you know how sad they were that they thought they weren't going to get him?
Yeah, I know.
They were like, we're not getting him. He's going to Pirates.
When I wrote the story that he's going to Pirates,
I
got a call from someone at Sundowns and they were like, bro,
are you serious?
Is this thing done? I'm like, not really. They're still
minus.
So you can see how much they wanted him. And, his confidence as well, man. He knows football, man. The way he's fitting in. So
the people,
no brainer for me.
The people who did the reports on why they need to sign him believe he's the best winger in the PSL right now.
Yeah.
So that says a lot. Okay. Who do you think will be the team that overachieves the season and the one team that underachieves the season?
Okay. Overachieves. Okay. All right. I think.
Who came up with Kruger?
Milford.
Hey. Sure.
Okay. Okay. No offense to the fan base of that team, eh?
Yeah, same here.
So
the
one is okay.
Okay,
yeah, sure.
3, 2, 1. Amazulu overachieves. Marumo Gallants underachieve. Okay. The reason I said Golden Arrows because when the season started, I thought they were gonna be struggling. I thought losing Coach Mangoba, Squishy, Cisse, I thought it was too much.
Komara.
But now having watched them against Chiefs, obviously it's a different style of play that they employ. But I think what they have there and what they still have that hasn't played gives them a good reason that they can get into the top 8 again. And I think that would be overachieving, in my opinion. Sekhukhune, I think it will be difficult to replicate that seasons that they've done over the past. Not because they're not good, but because the other teams have gotten better.
True.
So I think those might do.
I think for me, AmaZulu, I think the way they've done their business, the balance in their squad, I actually think they will do better than they did last season. When you look at the end of the season, they'll definitely be at
more points. They'll have more points.
More points and more progress. And then Marumo Gallants,
it's going to catch up, eh?
I don't know, man. I think they've got a new coach. Things are happy, all over the place.
I'm told if he doesn't win the next game, he might be out.
Oh, yeah.
Khalil as well at Durban City.
Yeah. So I don't trust.
It's messed. It's messy there.
Yep.
Okay. Golden Boot.
Golden Boot. Come on, man. Do we? We both know, man.
Nah, I think we're gonna have 2 different answers.
No, this one.
No, wait.
Listen, make sure you keep this. We'll show it at the end of the season. This one.
No. I think I know who you.
I'll come back you.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, Brian Leon. It's quite obvious. He scored 15 goals. In half of the season.
Without settling into the league.
Yeah, he's not a guy fancy to step over. He's just a killer in the box. And I think once he gets his groove, he's gonna kill a lot of teams in this league.
No, 100%.
For sure. I think that was all the hot takes. Yeah, we didn't have to think twice for 2 of, I think it was the Golden Boot and best signing.
Yeah, no.
So, guys, I think it's undisputed on those 2. But if you disagree, leave in the comments. Who do you think were the best? Who do you think will be the Golden Boot winner? And who was the best signing this season? But yeah, before I wrap up, obviously we know that the window is still open. There are a couple of teams that will look to do some late business given that there's injuries. Sundowns. Miguel Cardoso is being weird about it, saying I shouldn't be talking about this. But I think Sundowns could improve left in defense and at right back now and in midfield. Do you think we should expect any surprises from any teams before the window closes?
Absolutely. Look, I wouldn't be surprised if Pirates go on and bring in someone, like a 10. 10. But look, at this stage of the season, a lot of leagues have started and clubs have finalized.
They push up their price now because it's like we're planning with this guy.
But they need to, I wouldn't be surprised if Chiefs, go on and bring in a defender, centre back, from one of the teams in the league.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised. Sundowns, I wouldn't be surprised if they bring in a midfielder. So, yeah, look, I still expect to see a bit of business here and there. I wouldn't be surprised if Chippa announce
Ibrahim Banse.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. But for me, what is surprising is that nobody's taken bites at Nda. Like, why wouldn't Chiefs or Sundowns take Nda,
That's interesting, man. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up at Sundowns. I wouldn't be surprised,
I think he's going to Libya, but let's see.
Let's wait and see.
But before you go, which player do you think we need to keep an eye on this season for transfer and just in general?
That's an interesting one.
We must keep our eyes locked on one of them.
Look, it's a bit of an obvious one, man. Langelihle Phili. Yeah, no. I think if he's managed very well, because obviously he's still very young, he's coming to a totally different environment, and the
pressure,
the sporting environment is good.
Yeah.
I think we'll enjoy
a potential young player of the season, and then transfer and just one name that we think could just keep an eye.
Keep an eye that could move before the window closes. Makwele. Makwele.
Another Golden Arrows player. You're gonna you just want to sell my players. Anyway, Dor, thank you. It's been a great hour of discussions. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and we'll definitely have you back again.
Enjoyed it.
Sharp.
These call-ups take too long.
Yeah, guys, we were international duty for the World Cup. The league just started, and we've been busy. This guy's been so busy that he's not even attending so many games anymore. We know he's only coming to the big games now. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the Bettor podcast. It's been a while since it's been back, but yeah, until next time.